What would you do for an ice cream bar?
Anything. Oh, hell yeah.
I need you to hack into Bank of America's system and delete all my late fees.
I don't think that
Do it!
What would you do for an ice cream bar?
Welcome to Room 666. Today we're going to be reviewing The Sisters Brothers, the latest film from Jacques Oudard. The film stars Joaquin Phoenix, Jake Gyllenhaal, John C. Reilly, and Riz Ahmed. Did I just get you wet? I know I am. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about The Sister Brothers and our director, Jacques Oudard. The Sister Brothers is about Joaquin Phoenix and John C. Reilly. They're brothers and they're assassins. They work for the Commodore. He sends them out whenever someone slights him or he needs money from somebody, and they kill him. In this case, they're looking for a gold prospector, played by Riz Ahmed, who has a formula in which he's able to put it in the water and bring up the gold faster than, regular prospectors are able to see the gold. At this point, he has the Sister Brothers going after him, but Jake Gyllenhaal is also close behind, and he's helping the Sister Brothers. But eventually, he starts teaming up with Riz Ahmed, and that's where the conflict begins, because basically, what this film is about, can a man change? Should a man change? If you've already been led down a certain path, if you've already gone down a certain road, down the fork in the road, should you continue with it? And I think that really shows that in Jake Gyllenhaal's character, as well as John C. Reilly's character. I think they are the ones who really have that arc, especially John C. Reilly. He doesn't want to kill people. He doesn't want to do that anymore. He wants to change, but Joaquin Phoenix doesn't. And Jake Gyllenhaal ends up seeing that, that Riz Ahmed is just a human, that he's going to hand him over to these people who are probably going to torture him and kill him. And so you have those kind of two arcs that kind of go together, and once they come together, where you have the two sister brothers, just polar opposites, just going around killing, getting into kind of these certain situations that are comedic. But once they clash with Jake Gyllenhaal and Riz Ahmed, you kind of get this more darker kind of character study. There's still funny moments, but it's a little different. It kind of switches it up. And I really enjoyed that about this film. The way that the genres kind of just seamlessly go together is fantastic. I think if you've seen Jacques Oudard's other films, you know that they're more raw, they're more real. He has more of like a cinema verite kind of documentary feel. And they're really kind of melodramatic at points, especially something like Rust and Bone. But here, in The Sister Brothers, he kind of leans back on that a little bit. And, it's not a bad thing. But it does feel a little Americanized in a way, but at the same time, that's not a bad thing, because it does feel like it's kind of a little bit of a Coen Brothers Western, but with a little more raw kind of, like I said, shaky cam kind of just natural lighting. I mean, the natural lighting in this thing is fucking beautiful. Cinematography is fantastic. The theme of, can a man change doesn't necessarily get answered, but I like films that don't give me answers. I like films that ask questions more, and this one does that. It's not an ending that's going to give you, this satisfying ending. It really isn't. And that's one thing that I think Jacques Oudard is fantastic at, is really just being more of character study than worrying about plot and things like that. And so here, that really shows. I just really enjoyed this film, from the cinematography to all the acting, the direction behind it. Like I said, the themes that it proposes. It's just a great film. Jacques, thank you very much for The Sister Brothers. Let's talk about our boys from Nightcrawler back together again. Jake Gyllenhaal, Riz Ahmed. Now, if you've seen that movie, their chemistry is off the chain. It's off the charts. It's bleeding off the screen. Well, here, it's the same thing. They both kind of have these really sympathetic characters that you sort of get to enjoy right off the bat. And it's because of their chemistry with each other and the way they sort of be able to go back and forth. They don't have as much comedy moments as, say, John C. Reilly and Joaquin Phoenix, but they have this really great scene where when Jake Gyllenhaal kind of realizes that he doesn't want to turn over Riz Ahmed to the Sister Brothers, where Riz Ahmed really gives him this kind of speech about like greed and men just kind of being like, like, this is what's going to happen. They're going to torture me. Like, it's a shame that that's what we are. This is the way we are. And you kind of see Jake Gyllenhaal, just that change in his face, that, he's going to change. And it's a really great scene. They're both fantastic in it. But the meat and the potatoes is our boy Joaquin Phoenix and John C. Reilly. So good job to the Nightcrawler boys, but let's talk about that meat. Let's talk about the acting god known as Joaquin Phoenix. Now, if you saw You Were Never Really Here earlier this year, you saw his held back, dark, just brutal performance in that. Here, he is a completely different person. He is just this kind of rowdy, just outspoken, drunken, just child of a man, who just wants to make money for killing. He just wants to have sex, get drunk, get money, kill people. And Joaquin Phoenix is a comedic genius in this role. I mean, this role calls for a lot of comedic timing, physical comedy, but comedy that comes from the character and their acting, from them having, them being a three-dimensional character, not just being a goofy kind of, one-line joke. He is actually a person, and that develops over the period of the film. You kind of see that through him, and it's because he's such a fantastic actor. But the thing that really stands out for me here is his comedy, the way he's able to deliver the lines. He is a drunk. He stumbles about. When he's got to do things like actually kill people or get in gunfights, he just does it in the most kind of nonchalant, goofy way. The way he speaks to the people that he's trying to kill, he just calls them like assholes and stuff. It's just so funny and so natural and so real. Joaquin Phoenix, you are an acting god. Honestly, they should give him a Best Actor for You Never Really Here. Give him Best Supporting Actor for the Sister Brothers, because seriously, you can't get performances like this out of other people. If you would have gotten a comedic actor, you would have got something that would have been too goofy. But because you have someone who knows and digs deep into the character, you got this. So, good stuff as always. The MVP of the film, in my opinion, is John C. Reilly. Now here he plays the brother who is more sympathetic, more innocent. He can kill people, doesn't really want to do it though. And you really feel that conflict in John C. Reilly, because John C. Reilly is such a great actor that he's able to kind of make, in the same way that Joaquin Phoenix is, to make these characters fleshed out. They're not just there to be comedic, to deliver comedic lines, to sort of be this dopey kind of sad sack. He really gives the character something for you to sympathize with him. And every scene he's in, even though Joaquin Phoenix is hilarious in it, you really feel for John C. Reilly, and you start to really want to follow his character's through line and his kind of arc throughout the film, which it really becomes his movie. And I really enjoyed that, because John C. Reilly, he can do it all. He can do Adult Swim comedy. He can do stuff like Step Brothers. He was in Chicago. He's a song and dance man. I mean, he could do it all, and it's never gimmicky. It's never out of place. He feels perfectly at home with Joaquin Phoenix, both just in that particular world in terms of it being a Western, but also just their chemistry is just fantastic, because they both have this great comedic timing, but it's so different. It's not the same. John C. Reilly is a great actor, and there's a bunch of amazing scenes of him just sort of being this really sympathetic guy. But at the same time, you can see these moments when he's got to kill somebody, and he can. And I really enjoyed that about his character, and seeing John C. Reilly portray that in a way that deserves an award. John C. Reilly, we love you here at Room 666. I happen to have something that I was diagnosed with John C. Reilly head, so I love you. In conclusion, I really enjoyed The Sister Brothers. It's got great acting, great direction, great cinematography, fantastic score. Everything about it is just really good. And even though it is a Western, it's never boring. It's still exciting. And that cast, how do you not want to go see that cast? So definitely go out and check it out, because it's probably going to make my top 10 of the year. Just go see it. Thank you everybody for watching this video, and make sure that you like the video. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share it. And last but not least, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it, and we'd love to hear from all you guys. So, see you next time.